We're live.
Okay, I do look for a motion to basically receive the cybersecurity education session. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Fegan, seconded by Councillor Sample. All in favor? And that carries. So that now does move us to public participation. I'll ask the clerk if there's any public questions.
No questions were submitted this evening.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we move to the first of four proclamations. So with our first proclamation, this is for Pride Month. So whereas every year cities around the world celebrate the diversity that strengthens our town to commemorate and support sexual and gender minorities' liberation, and whereas Pride Month is a positive stance against discrimination and violence toward lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people to promote their self-affirmation, dignity, equality rights, increase their visibility as a social group, build community, and celebrate sexual diversity and gender variance. And whereas the rainbow flag is the most recognized 2SLGBTQI plus symbol designed in 1978, and whereas Pride Month in Shelburne is an opportunity to prevent discrimination and promote awareness and acceptance of every human person, and to promote the development of harmonious relationships amongst all members of the community. And whereas we support an inclusive and respectful community where all citizens can live, work, and play in a safe and secure environment. Now, therefore, I, Deputy Mayor Shane Hall, on behalf of Council, do hereby proclaim June 2024 as Pride Month in the town of Shelburne. Our next proclamation tonight is for ALS Awareness Month. And again, whereas ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, is a rapidly fatal motor neuron disease for which there is no known cause or cure for. And whereas over 2,500 Canadians at any given time are living with ALS. And whereas ALS is also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, it can strike anyone regardless of age, gender, or circumstances. Whereas recent advances in ALS research have produced promising leads, and we must continue this crucial work. And whereas the ALS Society of Canada is dedicated to providing direct support to ALS patients, along with their families and caregivers, to ensure the best quality of life possible while living with ALS. Now, therefore, I, Deputy Mayor Shane Hall, on behalf of Council, do hereby proclaim June 2024 is ALS Awareness Month in the town of Shelburne. The third proclamation on the agenda is for Crossing Guard Appreciation Week. So whereas the Ontario Traffic Council School Crossing Guard Program Committee, of which the town of Shelburne is a member, has proposed that Crossing Guard Appreciation Week in all participating municipalities across the province be declared for the week of June 3rd through June 7th, 2024. And whereas each and every school day, dedicated individuals, whom we call crossing guards, commit their attention and energy to assisting pedestrians across busy streets as they arrive and depart from school and work. And whereas the town of Shelburne and the Dufferin Detachment Board Number 2 places a top priority on pedestrian safety and commends our crossing guards for their continued commitment to the safety and well-being of pedestrians. And whereas crossing guards play a critical role in ensuring the safety pedestrians and have a deep sense of the responsibility, a great deal of character, an excellent relationship with children, and the dedication necessary to brave inclement weather. Now, therefore, I, Deputy Mayor Shane Hall, on behalf of Council, do hereby proclaim the week of June 3rd through June 7th, 2024 as School Crossing Guard Appreciation Week in the town of Shelburne. The fourth proclamation on the agenda is for brain injury awareness. So whereas many residents of Ontario are living with the outcomes of an acquired brain injury, and whereas the impacts of an acquired brain injury may affect the person's cognitive, physiological, and mental health, as well as social well-being, with potentially life-altering effects on their families, friends, and significant others. And whereas the personal impacts to those living with an acquired brain injury, including losing quality of life, may be vast, and whereas the treatment, care, supports, rehabilitation, and emergency services needed to support those living with an acquired brain injury may be significant. And whereas public education for prevention and awareness is crucial to reduce the incidence and prevalence of acquired brain injuries. And whereas June is designated as Brain Injury Awareness Month in Ontario, and that this may help to reduce incidents, promote education and awareness, and aid survivors of brain injury to rebuild their lives and achieve their maximum potential. Now, therefore, I, Deputy Mayor Shane Hall, on behalf of Council, do hereby proclaim June 2024 is Brain Injury Awareness Month in the town of Shelburne. That now takes us to section number 6, which is council inquiries. Do we have any inquiries tonight? Councillor Sample.
Just a quick one. I did see an email come through from Lindsay about park cutting. And I know the season is drastically there, but the diamonds were pretty rough the last couple of weeks with excess grass and everything. So just wondering, I know we're working on it. Just wanted to bring it up again that it's there. Also, the KTH Park, the diamond, I guess we have the cricket going on in the center field. That's getting worn down. So it's, we might be ending up with some tripping hazards out there with some rundown holes in the ground and stuff like that out there. So I'm just wondering if we can possibly locate them to farther out in the corners of the fields instead of right in the center field of the area. That's it. Thanks.
Through the deputy mayor, yeah, we can take a look at that. I haven't been out there myself. I haven't heard anything from the cricket club to see what we can do. We can only rejig it so much. We have cut them in a few different areas there, so they're not burning the same area all the time while they're playing. We'll definitely look into it though, that and ball diamonds.
Yeah, it's just KTH because that's where they are all the time. So I'm not sure if there's another area that on the farther out in the outfield would be better, but I know there's hills there and everything too, but they seem to be right in center field, and that's there's a few ruts being built there. So
we do have them in that location, so we don't get them out into the drainage swale there and have cricket balls do travel pretty good if they do get a good stroke at them. So yeah, we're kind of limited how far we can go, but we'll definitely look into it. So.
Denise, do you have something to add?
Thanks, Deputy Mayor Hall. So I just wanted to mention to Councillor Sample that when we originally laid out the cricket at KTH Park, we looked at every potential location within the park that was possible. And as Jim just mentioned, I guess the flight pattern, if you want to call it that, of the balls significantly limits where they can be, potentially even abutting a residential backyard. Too closely is problematic for us. They do like their pitch cut very short, or the shortest possible, and that also contributes significantly to the quality of the turf in that area, because it's used heavily and compacted. So while Jim said we can look at it, I just don't want to give the impression that we have a lot of options with that park. And that's why within the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, we also identified that potentially Greenwood in the area that's currently not developed might be a solution. But we've also heard from the cricket clubs that they do like being at KTH. So that's just the general background.
Thank you. I was pretty sure of all that. I just don't want, if you're looking in the air, looking up at a ball, you're running in the field, you're not gonna see it, and you're gonna miss it, you're gonna hit it. So that's the only thing I'm afraid of. We just keep an eye on it. If we see it get warm, maybe we just fill it in a little bit. That's all. No problem with him there at all.
Is anyone else? Okay, that takes us to section 7, which is motions. So we do have one on the agenda tonight, and that's a memo related to municipal grant funding. The committee with the Shelburne Rotary, Dufferin Food Share, Orangeville Food Bank. Does someone from the committee want to speak to that?
We did look at both requests. The Rotary Club have changed. They are no longer running their Heritage Festival. They have requested the funding for their Pumpkin Fest. When we looked at it, we noted that the county of Dufferin had given them $2,300 for Pumpkin Fest. And we decided that we would give them the same amount. Actually, with the county having given them that amount, it would almost be, in our mind, a double dip. And also, we should not be the sole supporters for the full amount that they had requested. And that would have made us sole supporters of their event. So that was the reason for the $2,300. And the in-kind request from the Dufferin Food Share Orangeville Food Bank. It's a move. They are currently operating at the CDRC. They're requesting to move to the Jack Downey Park. They feel that that'll be more of a area where people are more visible, where people will be able to see them this time of the year. It is basically the rental cost of the park itself, and we felt that was something that we could easily approve, as it does help the citizens of Shelburne. That's where you can buy your fresh vegetables and other things that they are selling. The remainder, because we did not get the grant from the feds for Canada Day Committee, we decided to use the remainder of the money that was left over from the municipal grant funding for Canada Day to make up the difference. So the amount was realigned to the Canada Day Committee for the use of the Canada Day celebrations, and that basically ends the amount of money available for municipal grant, and we will no longer take any further requests. And that's basically it. Unless Kyle wants to add anything else.
I think you pretty much hit on most of the points there, Alter. Thank you much.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay, can I get a mover and a seconder for the motion? Moved by Walter, seconded by Mr. Grishardi. So again, be it resolved that the memo to council from the Municipal Grant Funding Committee be received as information, and that council approves funding in the amount of $2,300 plus in-kind contributions towards the Shelburne Rotary's Pumpkin Fest community event to be held October 12th, 2024. And that the in-kind request from Dufferin Food Share Orangeville Food Bank in the amount of $959.11 for use of the Jack Downing Park one time per week from June 4th to October 30th, 2024 be approved, and that the remaining grant funding in the amount of $4,900 be realigned to the Canada Day Committee. All in favor? Okay, that carries. That now does take us to communications. Does anybody have anything they'd like to pull out? Seeing none, can I get a mover and a seconder to receive all items listed under communications. Moved by Councillor Fegan, seconded by Councillor Sample. All in favor? That carries. And then now that takes us to the confirming bylaw.
Sorry,
Can I get a,
Deputy Mayor Hall?
yes?
We just missed Councillor Motion's notice of motion.
Oh, goodness, I did too.
Sorry.
Back that up. Do we have any councillor motions for tonight? Okay, seeing none. Then we'll move to the confirming bylaw. Can I get a mover and seconder? Moved by Councillor Guichardi, seconded by Councillor Bernardo. All those in favor? That carries. And can I get a motion to adjourn? Moved by Councillor Sample, seconded by Councillor Fegan. All those in favor? That carries. Thank you very much, everyone.